Welcome to AM Best Audio.
The following AM Best Audio is an interview between AM Best Associate Director, Industry Relations, DUAE, Dawn Walker, speaking with Danny Mallory, CEO of ProMGA Global Solutions.
So I wanted to ask you, can you discuss the strategic journey of ProMGA Global Solutions, or specifically how your company adapted its strategies in response to the evolving MGA market, and then what are some of your main focuses for future growth?
Yeah, of course. So probably worth going back to sort of 2016, which is when the ProMGA Global Solutions, let's call it ProMGA business, was created. Mm-hmm. Having created historically two previous, what is known as incubator firms, mm-hmm. When we developed this particular business and this model, I wanted to create a business that was class and territorially agnostic in terms of its reach, in terms of what it could do to be able to support the new startup, existing MGA, irrespective of the territory, irrespective of the class, anywhere in the world, as long as I felt as though it was adding value. So for me, the vision, the mission was to create that global footprint to support whoever it was in developing an MGA, because my view is that insurance will be driven via the MGA as we go through the next sort of 5 years plus. Still with big, important insurance brands and carriers sitting behind them, and also dealing direct with the customer. I think the MGA for me is at the forefront of what insurance is all about. So that was the vision. And then really since 2016, we actually launched, I think it was in 2017, after we received all of our regulatory approvals. We've grown very steadily, circa 35% year on year, to a point today where I'm managing circa 46 MGAs, I think it's about $750 million of gross written premium, probably forecasted to touch over $1 billion as we go through the first quarter of 2025, across 30 classes of business on a global scale. So for me, the vision is getting to a point now where we're starting to get to where we want to be when we first created this in 2016. Key to that is really being at the forefront and also understanding the needs of the client. The client from our perspective is the MGA, but the ultimate client, so the entity that's purchasing in the insurance risk of the policy in the first place. Mm-hmm. Embracing innovation wherever innovation can be embraced, and then really wrapping that innovation from a technology perspective with good quality subject matter experts in the relevant territories, and then drawing upon value key stakeholder partners to help us deliver a service to whomever it might well be as our client. So for me, creation of that target operating model that was nimble, that embraced technology, that embraced good quality resources, that was class and territorially agnostic, but really gave us that position to be able to sort of support the new startup irrespective of where it was in the world.
Right. That's awesome. And would you say you guys are still in growth mode?
Yeah, no, very much so. It's a bit like learning mode, I suppose. You never stop learning. I don't mind sharing. I'm 56 years of age after 36 years in the insurance sector and 22 years plus in MGAs. Every day is something new, which is fantastic. So it's challenging, it's exciting. Yeah, it's fun, which is the most important part of it. And also you create great relationships and partnerships. But yeah, from a business, absolutely in growth mode. Both from, I suppose, in terms of the propositions we have, and I'll touch on that in a sec, but primarily from a territorial perspective. So today we have a UK licensed MGA, a European licensed MGA, and Europe for us today is Germany. Mm-hmm. So we're going to do some country expansion in Germany at some stage. So today in Northern Europe, need to be in Southern Europe, probably Spain, looking possibly to get to Eastern Europe, probably Poland. At some juncture, then we'll do the Scandinavian and Nordic territories. Obviously, we're in North America. North America today is US. We need to get to Canada, so I have a 50-state license MGA in the US. LATAM, probably Brazil, Mexico, and then at some juncture, the Middle East. And the Middle East, I think, will either be Dubai or probably Abu Dhabi, subject to really what the regulatory frameworks look and feel like. want to embrace Asia, but going to probably explore Asia via the Middle Eastern proposition. If I was to go to Asia, it will probably be Singapore. Okay. So the idea is that we have these regulatory businesses in these various territories with good quality on the ground resources supporting the MGA clients that we've got. Twofold. One, to help new startups in the territory, but primarily also to help existing MGAs that we have perhaps in the UK seamlessly get into Europe, seamlessly get into the US, or US clients seamlessly get into the UK or into Europe, European into US. So any permutation enabling that MGA client of ours to obtain the growth and realise the vision that they're looking for, hence the global spread. Yeah. So still a lot to do. Conscious of how long that potentially will take. So a very robust talent growing program that we're embracing at the moment. So doing a lot of looking at good quality young individuals in various territories, maybe different industries, maybe in different sectors of the insurance industry, and building and putting a framework around them and nurturing and mentoring and training and guiding them to get to where we want them to get to in essence at some juncture be succession. So quite a lot going on, but good fun.
Absolutely. Now this question, it should be an easy question for you. It wasn't on here, but you just said something that sparked something in my mind, especially thinking about the performance assessment and how from the carrier side, or when people who are wanting to partner with MGAs, much like your company, how are you looking at vetting on a deeper level as far as like this? I know you mentioned you wanted to look at these young individuals who are entrepreneurial, and this is one of the things that you look at before you partner with these MGAs or you onboard them. What are you looking at as a due diligence? From a due diligence perspective? Yeah,
so I suppose there's two things really. If you sort of break the engagement process down, so obviously at the very front end you have that traditional business development type phase, so getting to know each other a little bit, understanding a bit more about your vision, what do you want to achieve, why do you want to achieve it, how do you feel as though you're going to achieve it, your business plan, the value that you're looking to add. And again, as we're talking and as we're getting to know each other a little bit, sort of a little bit of a review in our own minds as to, is it adding value? So for me, the important thing is that all of my clients are adding value to the insurance chain, ultimately delivering to the customer, but also to all of their key stakeholders as well. So we go through that process, and then obviously, importantly, to most of that stuff, two key elements, or three key elements, I suppose. One is the risk capital, so the capacity, the market that is going to be supportive of the MGA, always at the forefront of our mind. The financial stability of the business, how is it financially backed, and the inward distribution strategy. Is it adding value ultimately to the end customer? So all key stakeholders are looking at a profitable business that is going to deliver to them what they're looking for. So we go through that typical business development funnel, get to a point where we're all comfortable with each other, and then we just sort of shake hands and agree to move forward. So quite a bit of a process to go through. Mm-hmm. As we go through that, then obviously my compliance team are doing various different due diligence checks on the individuals. My regulatory team are doing various different checks in relation to the landscape, the proposition, the solution, just to make sure that that dovetails into the legal and regulatory frameworks, the territory that they're looking to launch in. And then really all of that comes together to then present, in essence, to whoever potentially the market is that's going to be supportive of the business. And then collectively, us and the market as a partnership will work with the MGA client to shape a proposition, shape a structure that we believe is going to benefit the inward distribution partner and ultimately the end client.
Great.
Quite a lot to go through. Bearing in mind, we circa get 10 to 15 new opportunities a month.
A month? That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot to sift through too. When it seems like it's such an all-encompassing process.
Yeah, I think the key thing there, and I suppose go back to 2016 when we sort of looked at this business, having done two previous to that, and to achieve the vision, there was only one way really for that to happen. One was good quality individuals. Two, technology. So is there technology out there that can support the good quality individuals in managing the volume, the size, irrespective of class and territory of the MGAs that we were looking to get hold of? And the answer to that was there was. Fortunately, at that juncture, I was a mentor on the Lloyd's of London Innovation Lab, Tech Lab, and cohort 2. We found an individual that had come out of the FCA PRA that had developed some piece of technology that really gave me the ability to be able to wrap I suppose, a real-time compliance, regulatory and oversight framework around all of my MGAs, including my own business, that I could see what was going on at any one point in time. So every MGA that we support has to utilise our tool, and we can see, and all key stakeholders can see what's going on, that they are ensuring that the business is being managed and run in a regulatory and compliant manner.
That's
good
awesome.
quality. Yeah, good quality due diligence, training programs, continuously going on just to ensure that, again, the people, the two parts of all of this really, the business and the people in particular understood what it meant to work in a regulatory environment. And ultimately, when they become fully regulated in their own right, then could stand the test of time in terms of their own business. So in theory, you could say we're almost an extension of the regulator in the local territory, making sure that that team and that business is fit for purpose as it goes off into the sunset at some point in the future.
That's great. And I know that the regulatory landscape is changing a little bit. I know Australia, New Zealand, and even in like Canada, they're trying to look more, I guess, from a treating consumers fairly perspective and just making sure downstream things are good. So that's really great that you incorporate, that not only through your business, but funneling down through all the MGAs that you support. So
that was important, Dawn, to be honest with you, because otherwise, you're going to continuously come across challenges, and ultimately you're protecting the customer, whoever the customer is, whether that's me or you, or whether that's the SME or the corporate, irrespective of what the customer looks and feels like.
Exactly.
Customize your data experience. BestLink now offers an interactive company dashboard that provides company-level intelligence in a fast, user-friendly interface featuring interactive tables, charts, and Sparkline performance histories. Customize the dashboard tiles to prioritize the insurer ratings, data, and analytics that best support your workflow. AM Best. Our insight, your advantage.
So I want to just pivot a little bit, just thinking about innovation, because I feel like that is the stronghold that MGAs have right now in the insurance industry, is bringing that innovation. So I wanted to ask you, in what ways has ProMGA incorporated innovation in its services to stand out? Well, for your MGAs that you support, or the MGAs, what innovations that your MGAs have incorporated in their services to stand out?
Yeah, so as a business, as I touched on, we've embraced a digital tool that gives us real-time compliance, regulatory and oversight data and comfort. So I think we're probably one of the only few incubator firms, or as I like to call it, the regulator calls us, a professional regulatory host that embraces such a tool. So we've got that level of comfort, but we know that every MGA, including our own businesses, operate in that regulatory and compliant manner and can evidence that it's being utilised. And that's everything in terms of running a business. So that's one piece. Two, in terms of that proposition, we also, other than incubation, we also have a facilitation proposition. So this, in essence, is where we use our own regulatory businesses as trading MGAs, but we simplify for the inward distribution partner their placement. So we give them a portal, we give them the automative approach to be able to place their risks post the lead going down, so a follow line. We also give insurers the ability to be able to offer product to distribution in an automated way. And also we allow some of our clients to utilise our platform on a white label basis to be able to access a new market. So the whole process that we have, that's underpinned by really two pieces of technology, gives us, our clients, our key stakeholders, whether that's the market that supports the MGA, including themselves, the inward distribution partners, a level of comfort that they're getting everything that they need in an automated way, embracing technology as much as we can. So that's us. The majority of our MGAs have some piece of very interesting proprietary technology that differentiates them as a business to their competitors as well. And again, simplifies the process therefore should be reducing premium and acquisition costs, and really enables everyone within the chain to feel as though they're all just one partnership. So the way we view it is if you've got a puzzle and you're building a puzzle, the outline of the puzzle being the most important piece is that fits properly. That square fits absolutely right. There's no forcing of pieces in, because at some point, if you try and force something in that shouldn't be there, it's going to go wrong and going to cause you a challenge. So there's that continuous learning, continuous nurturing and mentoring to enable that everyone is very clear on what they need to do, and hopefully the support, the frameworks that we wrap around them, all supported by good quality subject matter experts, will help them, the MGA client, achieve their vision, which ultimately will deliver value to the customer and also to their key stakeholders. So technology is important and is continuously enhancing, as you would imagine. Yeah. I sit on the InsurTech Lab, or the Israeli InsurTech Lab, as well as the Lloyd's InsurTech Lab. I'm a member of the British Insurance Broking Association's network and MGA Advisory Board. So we get a really good oversight globally of what's going on, to be able to draw upon all of that to help our clients grow, to get them positioned for growth and to be successful.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that with me. So then I wanted to ask you, what are the most significant challenges facing MGAs today? And then how are you all helping MGAs address these challenges?
Yeah, I think again, the regulation element of it, subject to the territory, is always, I wouldn't call it a challenge, is always something to be mindful of. Being ahead and being aligned with the regulator, I think, is the key thing here, and working with the regulator. Too many other entities that I know of tend to try and distance themselves, where actually we want to embrace the regulator, understand what their thinking is, what their challenges are, how can we support them. So if I just take the FCA in the UK, them calling us a professional regulatory host, I set my stall out to say that, yes, I am taking a new startup in the UK, I'm mentoring and I'm helping them, the owners of that business, shape their business, structure it in a way that is going to be adding value to the customer ultimately, and actually readies them to become fully regulated, and they understand what the business needs to look and feel like, but as important, if not more important, what them as individuals need to look and feel like when they are in a regulated environment. So that 3-year journey, which typically it takes from the moment we have the initial engagement until they become fully regulated in their own right, they should be coming out really as a matured group of individuals and business ready to be able to stand on their own 2 feet. So regulation is always something that for us is at the forefront of our mind, and therefore is at the forefront of our clients' minds, and will need to continue to be looked at irrespective of where you are in the world. So regulation is going to obviously be that. 2, I think things like ESG, so a very, very important subject matter, ensuring that we're doing what we can in terms of ensuring and taking the various different and achieving what we need to do from that perspective in terms of growth, from an environmental, social and governance perspective. A digital, I suppose, enhancements, question of if you want to word digital disruption, but in embracing technology to simplify it and make matters easier, and therefore hopefully drive down premium whilst enhancing service and delivery is always very, very important. I suppose the key thing as well is capacity, risk capital management. So really working with the insurer partner to make sure that the MGA is delivering to them what they're looking for, but the insurer partner and possibly the reinsurer partner, so we're seeing that as well now, so reinsurer, insurer, MGA, working as a partnership. So they're round the table collectively and everything's being delivered the way it needs to be delivered to the inward distribution partners, whoever that may well be, whether that's direct to consumer or via a broker. So there's quite a few things like that. So from a trend perspective, I think you're going to see continuous movement in probably those 4 areas more than anything else, coupled with, I suppose, the growth and the volume. So if you'd have said this call 3 years ago, I would say I was getting anywhere between 5 to 8 to 10 new opportunities a month. Now it's 10 to 15 a month. I could possibly see that growing. The type of clients that I'm seeing now are very different. So two-man bands to more established teams to corporates, corporates including insurers and reinsurers, very well financed, capitalised, creating the vision for them to be able to deliver to the customer via the MGA a product or proposition and what they're looking for. So I think we're going to see a continuous enhancement, transition towards the growth of the MGA. I think it's, if anything, it's going to continue going up. So we should get more and more firms like me, hopefully, coming in to support individuals that want to be MGAs, because I think that's what it needs.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. So you talked about a lot about technology, right? And just like how the integration of new technology has really like transformed how MGAs operate, particularly in the risk assessment area and client engagement. But what technological advancements would you say is most crucial for MGAs?
I think there's two things, really. One, obviously, the regulatory and the oversight piece. Yeah. So hence why we give all our MGAs what we have, because this gives comfort to everybody that they're operating the way they need to operate. So that's one. Two, I think from a simplification process around engagement, so simplifying that journey as much as possible from the end client to the ultimate insurer, and ensuring that everyone then is aligned and joined up, that reporting is robust, and there's a great communication trail there. So for me, they're the two key things, I think, more than anything else. The client-customer journey is paramount. But those two things underpin, I believe, a good quality customer-client journey, and that ecosystem that MGAs, coupled with their insurer, possible reinsurer partner, are looking to try and achieve. I do still believe that the subject matter expert, the SME people, have a vital role to play. So for me, it's the SME that's enabled by technology. I think is the key thing, and I think you're going to see more of that, which is why you always tend to find that the MGA is much more nimble than perhaps a traditional insurance carrier, because of the fact that it's built a target operating model that allows it to be that way, because it is embracing tech. Okay.
So you talked about a few of the trends that you see. So can you think of any other trends that you see dominating the MGA sector in the next 5 years?
I suppose, again, from a technology perspective, we'll sit back and wonder what AI is going to deliver to us. Don't know yet is the answer to that. Are we going to be overrun with too many MGAs? Not quite sure if that will be the case. I think the interesting thing for me is going to be the development on the insurer side. So the ultimate carrier of the risk, the insurer, reinsurer, fronting entity. So you're seeing more of that being developed, alternative risk capital, pension funds, etc., coming in as well. So I think the MGA sector is opening up the ultimate risk carrier to a much wider audience. So I do believe there will be an interesting development around the insurance carrier piece as to what does that insurance carrier look like of the future. One to watch.
Okay. And then one last question for you. In terms of Lloyd's, we know while we're watching the growth of the MGAs and premiums that are written on a global scale, Lloyd's has been kind of consistent, right? Or, their numbers haven't gone up, they haven't gone down. But do you see Lloyd's kind of opening up the reins for growth again? Like, they were the initial leader in this space, and now. Yeah. So what do you think about that?
No, yes, I do, Dawn. Sorry, I cut across you there. Okay. Yeah, no, very much so. And I know I'm a massive supporter of Lloyd's. I think what Lloyd's does for the insurance sector is phenomenal. I think it will always be at the front end of delegated authority. And again, interestingly, as I touched on as we first started here, stayed on at the end of WSIA really to work with Lloyd's in the US, the boot camp, 80-odd individuals from various different firms across the US, and us presenting and working with the Lloyd's team in the US around delegated authorities, MGAs, how that can benefit them, their clients, and ultimately what Lloyd's is looking to try and do. I see more of that as we go forward. So we're engaging with Lloyd's in a number of different areas to deliver to the clients, to the intermediaries in the territory, what they're looking for via the Lloyd's brand.
Okay. Well, again, I thank you. And I just really do appreciate you taking the time. I know you're busy and you're not feeling well.
No problems at all. Listen, more than happy to support it. As you gather, it's a passion. It isn't a job for me. It's something that I've lived and breathed for God knows how long. And working with individuals and helping them realise their vision, weirdly, for me is good. So success is when they leave us, weirdly, because we've done a job. We've taken an idea, made it real, wrapped a framework around them, they've delivered, and off they go. It's a bit like children, albeit that they don't keep asking for money. But yeah, so listen, more than happy to do more than happy to support. So as and when you need any advice or any, if you want just call out to Joe, call out to the guys, and more than happy to do more of this.
You've been listening to AM Best Associate Director, Industry Relations, DUAE, Don Walker, speaking with Danny Mallory, CEO of ProMGA Global Solutions. This is AM Best Audio. Looking to get the full attention of the insurance industry? We have the platforms that will do just that. Whether it be AM Best TV, AM Best Audio, Best Review Magazine, or Best Day. Find out more by calling AM Best Advertising Sales at 908-439-2200, extension 5399, and have a great day.